What's up, dolls? This is your girl, Lovely China, back with another video. In this video, I'll show you how I got this bomb look with this middle part. Y'all stay tuned. Mwah.
And if the beat live, you know Lil Juke made it.
So I already have the closure sewn on. I did that step ahead. I always sew my closures first to get the job done, so that way I just go straight through and sew the hair on. So as you can see, I'm going in with the first bundle. This is in the 20 inch. I'm going in and I'm sewing the hair onto the cap, being sure not to go through the elastic because you don't want to shrink the cap to where it doesn't fit the size of your head. Now, I know some people prefer to sew on the canvas head, to each his own. I personally sew my wigs that I know are for me personally onto the styrofoam head, because the styrofoam head is about the size of my own head, so they generally fit. But I know in every case it doesn't work that way, so it would be nice to have a canvas mannequin head on hand, but this works just fine for me. Gets the job done with the styrofoam head. So the way that I sew my wigs, the method that I do, I go in a U shape. When I say U shape, I literally mean in the shape of a U. You want to go from ear to ear. As I go in the video, you will see what I mean when I go from ear to ear. But you want to go in a U shape up until you get as close to the closure as possible. And farther in the video, you'll understand and get what I mean. But you want to sew from ear to ear in the shape of a U, forming a U shape. And you want to get as close to the closure as possible. You don't want any gaps, any spaces, or anything like that, because once you finish the wig, those would be things that you will be able to notice. You want the wig to be nice and flat and sewn in right. This is after the first bundle, and I'm going in with the second bundle, which is in 18 inch. I'm going to go in and sew that in next. And if I haven't said it already, when I start my wigs, I always double weft my tracks. I double it to make sure it's nice and thick and get as much hair as I can to fit onto this, because you also want it to be full. Now, you want it to be full, but you don't want it to be bulky. You want it to be nice and flat and natural looking. So that's why I start off double wefting my tracks. But once I get closer towards the closure, I single weft the tracks in. So that way it wouldn't be so bulky at the top, because you want it to be seamlessly flow. You want it to look as natural as possible. And I love to use T-pins because as you can see in the video, it helps to hold the tracks in place for you as you sew. So that way it flows smooth. Like you wouldn't have any problems with slipping or whatnot. The T-pins hold that hair in place for you, and you literally just sew and it flows. So T-pins are very good to have on hand to help you when sewing the hair in as well. Remember that. Alright, now we have both bundles sewn in. Everything's nice and intact. You see I'm getting as close to the closure as possible. I have no spaces, no gaps. Everything's flowing. So now we're going to go in with the third bundle. Now this is usually where I begin the single wefting. If you can see, I'm taking the tracks, T-pinning it down, and I'm going in and sewing in the last bundle single weftly. You want to make sure that it's single weft at the top because you want it to lay as flat as possible. See how the closure, it's sewn on there, but it still isn't blended in with the hair yet. So you want to make sure the hair behind the closure is flat as possible, so that way when you take and you do blend the closure in with the hair, it lays flat and seamlessly, and it just all flows together. You'll see eventually what I mean once everything comes together, but you want to do it single weftly. And you see how it's going and forming the shape of the U? We're going to keep going in the U shape all the way to the top, all the way to you close the closure up. Really not close the closure up, but really just close where you can see the cap. Nice and neat. And as I go in the video, you will see exactly how good it closes up. But you want to keep going until you close it up and you don't see any more of the cap or the closure. And there you go. Everything nice, sealed up. And notice what I meant when I say the closure wasn't even blended in yet. Look how everything flows and is together. Come on now. Now we're going to go and put on the wig. Well, try it on once, to see how everything looks. But once you take it off, you want to cut out the excess cap in the inside without cutting the thread. You do not want to cut the thread, because if you accidentally cut the thread, you mess your wig up, and then you have tracks slipping, and we don't need that, okay? We don't need it. And notice once I comb it just a little bit, how it just falls into place for your girl. Like, just look at it. Like, I didn't even do anything really to this wig just yet, and it's already looking flawless. It's got the shine to it, flowing. Just look at that. The bounce to it. Come on now. The back, everything just flowing and glowing. There we go, girl. Look at that shake. Look at that shake to it. That's how you do it. And mind you, I didn't do anything to it just yet to make it look, natural just yet. But this is how it looks fresh off the styrofoam head. There we go. Didn't have to do any plucking. Only thing I used to make my part look natural was some concealer. Could you believe that? That's why this is very beginner friendly for my beginners. Those of you who aren't good with the plucking just yet, your girl got you. Add you some concealer to that part and you are doing the thing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you later.